What's up, everybody? I'm Aiden.
I'm Clark.
In today's video, we're going to discuss why we're leaving the Darkglass cult.
Welcome
to Liquid Studios.
So this video might be really divisive between our opinions on Darkglass. I'm just going to start by saying my opinion overall. I'm really love the tones and sounds out of these pedals, and I think Aiden was very excited too when he got them at first because they sound almost as good as an amp when you're playing them. But since I'm the guitarist and I don't really know much with the bass, I'm going to let Aiden really take over and explain this video to you.
Yeah, the tones out of the Darkglass are great. Like I used to use Tech 21, a VT Deluxe, which it was awesome too. But I just kind of like the tone you get, like kind of in the upper mids too. Is kind of it's a little aggressive on the Darkglass, which is great for kind of cutting through and poking through the mix a bit, so the bass can kind of sit there with the distorted guitars. I like that, and that was kind of the sound and tone we were kind of looking at going a bit with the bass sound. But yeah, like I don't know, like we started a bit of the reason too why we wanted to do YouTube videos and make some videos on some of the stuff is just to give context of the gear we use and the reason why we use them. Like I can remember like back when we were younger and growing up, like we would buy guitar pedals and stuff because we would watch these reviews on YouTube, and the review or the demo or
It would always just sound unbelievable no matter what pedal they were talking about. And it wasn't just like companies and stuff, it was also just like more
Guitar World, like
well, it was also like smaller, more independent people almost, well, that you thought were more independent, that were more in the mindset of like they just bought it and were really excited about it and wanted to talk about it and show it to you. But we soon found out that most of that is just advertisements from companies, and they're just more trying to sell you the product, and they're making it sound as best as possible, running it through external rack gear, great microphones, all that type of stuff.
yeah, it's just like, and we know it kind of goes on a bit, but it's a little disingenuous and like
It feels really misleading.
yeah, and yeah, so that was kind of a bit of the reason too with the demos that we do. Like nothing we do or talk about is sponsored or anything like that. Like it's all gear we own and buy. That's why any of our demos and our videos too, especially when it's on new stuff and we're talking about it, we're usually pretty excited about it because for the most part it's something
Stuff we've wanted, and so we're excited to actually get it and play it.
yeah, so it's like and we're always usually, for the most part, all of our stuff is always positive, like about the gear, because for the most part, yeah, we like it. And if we don't really like the stuff, then it's not really a point about doing a video on it because it's not something we like and we're going to continue to use. So as Clark said, like we're fans of the tone of the Darkglass pedals, but just I don't know, they're advertising their presence, especially a little bit on YouTube. Like you do notice all of their pedals and reviews or demos or whatever, it's always by the same usual suspects and people. And a lot of it is just like they're just the corporate approved, advertisement arm almost of the company.
Well, because it's not a completely unbiased opinion on the pedal, because most of the time, especially with anything, guitar pedals and amps and stuff, the companies will send them out to these guys to review them, to get hype up before they come out to sell them. And obviously a lot of these people are going to tell you it's great because they're going to want to keep working with the company.
Yeah, and they use that as a advertising blitz. And then as well too, the people, they get they'll have what they call affiliate links. So if you watch the video and then click on the link, and then if you buy anything related to that link within a certain amount of time, they get a kickback from it. And again, it's not like most people are somewhat maybe aware of this, that this stuff goes on, and it's kind of a little bit of the reality. But the way that Darkglass does the marketing and their product release, it's a little bit kind of like the Apple model, where they'll release a product and then a year later they'll release the new model, which has a few new features, and they'll release the new model, which has a few new features, and just to kind of keep stringing the customer along a little bit. As Clark kind of talked earlier in another video, we were talking about our axe effects. They're kind of like that a little bit.
Kind of do the same thing in the sense that I don't know if it's every single year or every other year. There's always the Mark II, then like the final version of that axe effects, and then they'll move on to the next one. They'll do the same thing all the time, where they just slightly tweak it a little bit more, and it just kind of goes into that gas syndrome that a lot of guys have for just wanting the latest and greatest, and they're willing to fork over, even though they just spent all this money on the unit a year ago. They're willing to buy a brand new one just to get that slight upgrade.
Yeah, and like we have the Helix, and that thing's been around for years now, and they keep
just bringing out updates for it that allow you to get new amps and new sounds, which are phenomenal. And in all the time that they've been out, there still really isn't any talk of a Helix 2 yet.
Now, the issue of the way that their marketing works and coming out with new pedals wouldn't be as big of a deal to me if there wasn't as issues of quality control, and which could be looked at almost as, again, an Apple model of planned obsolescence, where it's you're putting out these products, you're only expecting them to last for a short period of time, and then you're expecting your customer then to buy the new model or to upgrade constantly. Which and especially in the world of guitar pedals is like, oh, that makes my head explode, because like we have guitar pedals, Boss and MXR pedals from the 70s, which is like, I don't know, what's that, 50 years old now going on at this point?
They still hold up great. We've had to obviously get the odd thing fixed on them over the years, but they still play great, whereas a lot of these more digital things kind of, once they
Die
go,
off.
they're gone.
Well, and Clark's saying digital, but Darkglass, it's not even digital. These are analog pedals, and like they're supposed to be hand-built in Finland. I don't know. We'll kind of get into a little bit more here. So as I mentioned, the quality control with the pedals. If you search for the pedals on YouTube, you'll just always find the newest video or the newest model coming out by, as I kind of said earlier, like the same approved, sponsored, or demoed YouTube channel. You don't see a lot of long-term discussion on these pedals. Now, if you look on TalkBase or Reddit, you will find users talking about their experience with these pedals over varying times. So I'm going to pull up some of the threads here to kind of show what I'm talking about here, and I also have a video of my unit here, so you can kind of hear what's going on with my unit. So right now I have my bass plugged into the Alpha Omega, just strictly the Alpha Omega, so you can hear. It's nice and clean. Actually, I messed up. It's the BK7 that's giving the noise, not the Alpha Omega. So you can hear. It sounds nice. I have the distortion on and engaged. And I'm just into the Alpha Omega and then right in the computer. I'm going to unplug from that, and I'm going to go into the BK7 to show the hiss. So here I'm in right now, and you can hear the hiss, and I don't even have the distortion engaged. But once I engage the distortion, the hiss just takes right over, and it's all you can really hear. And like I said, I'm direct right into the Darkglass and then out right into the computer. So it's the only pedal that I'm using right now. But you can hear how loud that is. And I've tried messing with the EQ, and the only thing really is if I take the treble all the way down, it'll help to get rid of it. But as soon as I add any treble back in, the hiss just comes right back in. So as you heard from the video, there's a noise or a hiss that's going through the entire circuit. And it doesn't matter if the pedal's engaged or disengaged or anything, it's constantly there. It's there the whole time. It's there when you're playing it over, it's louder than the signal that's coming out, so you hear it. Like, it's not like it's just like a 60 cycle hum where once you start playing the instrument, it goes away. It's there, and it's louder than your bass, so there's nothing you're going to do about this. And when you check on these forums, everybody is having these issues with these pedals over a certain amount of time. There was a lot of talk, and I'm bringing up some of the articles here about people talking about it gets worse when they engage the cab sim. They said if you go into the Darkglass suite, if you connect your pedal through USB, you can get a little bit more control over your output level, and they suggested bringing your output level up to max, but with my version of pedals, they don't connect through USB, so there's nothing you're going to do about that. But the user said even with doing that, like, it does help a little bit, it brings the bass up a little bit, but the noise is still there and is still audible over the bass signal, which, again, like, this is crazy for pedals that are in this price range and heads that are in this price range. It's got to be something, I don't know if it's something in the capacitors or what it is that's causing this. So again, if you kind of look at YouTube videos and stuff of Darkglass, everybody says how great the pedals and their customer service is, but if you look into the forums, it's a completely different story. Everybody says like the customer service is essentially useless. They're just going to kind of put you off and put you off. And again, as I touched on earlier, that idea of planned obsolescence, it's the idea that you buy the new model or you upgrade or whatever. So here was kind of what happened with me, with my pedal when I contacted them. They took down my information. It was back and forth for a week, 2 weeks, however long. And then they finally flipped the email over to Korg, because Korg now apparently does their support for them. So then they flipped the email over to Korg USA. Korg USA got back to me and they said I would have to mail the pedal to the States, and then it would be $75 for them to take a look at the pedal and most likely be able to fix it. But it was the $75 minimum for them to take it and look at the pedal, which is crazy. Like, it's good. This $75 US. On top of me shipping the pedal to them, I don't know if that includes them shipping it back to me. I would hope for that kind of money it does. But on a pedal that's, I mean, a $500 pedal that's only a few years old, when they ran the serial number, this thing, I bought it in 2017. I can't remember if I bought B stock or what it was, but I bought it at the time with my band. Really excited. Some stuff happened. I had an injury. I couldn't use the pedal for a year almost, and then I go to use the pedal and the thing's unusable because of this noise. And then $75 for them to fix the pedal. Is it going to work again in a year from now, or is it going to do the same thing? But yeah, I brought up some of the forums and stuff on TalkBass, and as you can see, like, everybody has these issues with different pedals and different amps, and it's all the same issue doing the same thing. So as I said, it must be something in the circuitry. It's unbelievable that this is even going on with pedals at this price point, and the company is pretty much dead silent on the issue about it. But yeah, that was kind of what we wanted to talk about with our experience and why we're kind of leaving the Darkglass call. As Clark said, it may be a little divisive. There's probably a lot of people though too who have had the exact same experience as what we had. But yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of maybe go back to Tech 21 or something else.
Helix HX stop.
Yeah, or possibly Clark's saying the Helix HX stop, which that would probably be the smart thing to do, because it has IRs and everything that way it has your IRs and everything built right into it, and it is amazing. And when he gets the neural DSP, I'll take his Helix and I'll use that for my bass rig, and then we're set. I can sell my Darkglass when it gets fixed. And when it does get back, I sent it to my tech, because $75 US is insane. So I sent it to my tech. He's going to take a look at it. When he figures out what's wrong with it, if people want to know, leave a comment down below, and if anybody is interested, I will post an update as to what the issue was with the pedal. Thanks everybody for checking out our video. If you liked it,
Please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on our latest videos.
you can connect with us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
We also host a live stream every Monday and Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube.
All the songs we create are released on all the major distributors: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and YouTube Music. We use DistroKid to release our content. Anybody who's not a member, there's an affiliate link below. You can sign up and save yourself 7%. Thanks for watching.